He's here. Yeah, one. So move. Second.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Public hearing will open, public hearing at 6:01 regarding the final 2024 final budget. Speak regarding seeing and hearing none, for public hearing at 6:06. Okay. Correspondence? Okay. Items from the public? Okay.
TRL. I started this position in November 1st, and I've been with TRL for 2 years. I've actually been living in Raymond since 2022, so I am local. The whole purpose of this position is to just open make library services more accessible for people who live quite a long way away from physical library locations, and to also make library services accessible for people who can't actually get to these locations either. So I actually have the book reveal in my possession. It is currently hanging out at the Raymond Library under the carport. So if you feel like spying for it, it is there. What I need to do is bring services like circulation, polls, checkouts, library card applications, and issuing, take and make crafts to people in Francis, where I'm currently working on trying to get a stop out there. Base Center is also another location we're working on. I visited Ocean Park on Friday, which was really cool because I made some connections with the senior center out there. So I want to do that all over the county. So if you have any questions for me, if you have any suggestions, please let me know.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Did you message me about Labam Community Church?
It's quite possible. I did reach out to the Facebook page.
I think it was you.
If
Just,
you- if
it
you
was
want-
like last week. But yeah, we don't have a problem parking on our property out there. If you want to use that out there, feel free.
I'm so glad I came today. Thank you.
You've spoken with the Shorewater Bay, right?
I did reach out to Mary. I haven't heard anything, but like I've also heard that there's some reorganization going on. Drive out here and catch somebody in the library.
And also Catherine, she is the director of social services. She may be able to give you some information. She's
Great.
back by the court area.
Yeah.
Mobile trailers, but she does social services. She might be able to give you some place for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Heather.
I was gonna say, what about the nurse?
Also,
I mean, I would want books if I was in the nursing home.
Me too.
I want them to have work with you.
We had the retro field when I was in school, come to Riverview.
Right, because not everybody.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm there, they're open, you can bug me, I am secretly there on Mondays. So you can email me or contact me on my work phone, which I'll be happy to share with you if you're interested. I'm around.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks again. And this is a unique question, but is this where I bow out or?
You, if you want to say.
You don't have to say.
It won't hurt. If it's close
You don't have to stay, no.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, next on the agenda is the pool agreement, and you have a new one in front of you. First, my office today, and
Okay, well, I just have angst about the role of the director versus the role of pool and the roles and responsibilities for both, and trying to clear those so that we understand who's accountable or responsible for what. And I think the general concept is director is going to be accountable for running the operation. And so a lot of the coordination stuff with pool, I think, is good. Coordination back with him, and that's good. But the pool shouldn't have to do maintenance, for instance. On one of the lines, it said, and they'll do maintenance. They shouldn't have to do that. That's the pool director's job to do. So under number 2, we just said, let's see. Oh, and the operation services, it said in the original thing that the exception that pool shall have the right to withhold the use of the pool for reasonable period of time, restorations, repair, and maintenance. It took that out of there. They shouldn't have anything that gives them the right to run the pool or shut the pool down or open the pool. That's the director's accountability. Okay, so that was one of the changes. And then we took out down in 2 on the last, the president, let's see, we changed. Oh, okay, we didn't change that. That stayed the same. Okay. The next one in number 3, we changed that to say, the original said the city of Raymond shall service, maintain, and operate the pool, except as herein provided. Pool or their designee should keep the premises in neat, clean, safe.
So you just kind of.
We changed that to say the city of Raymond shall service, maintain, and operate the pool. The director shall require a pool or their designate to keep the premises. So he's directing them to do that. Okay.
The nonprofit pool board, I'm sorry, is responsible for cleaning and sanitizing the pool.
It can be. Yeah, he can direct them to do that, I guess is what the issue is. If they, they say, no, we don't have resources to do that, they'll have to figure out how else to do it, I guess.
Well, it says the director shall require pool or their designee, so
Yeah, right.
that could be
Right.
anyone.
Yeah, so, okay, and then the last one, the last in there, it said pool along with the city employee shall perform mechanical, electrical, and basically what we change it to is the pool along with a city employee will perform those monthly inspections. And
period.
we
That
took
last
period and we
Yeah.
took out shall make necessary. That's still a management responsibility and belongs with the director. So that was, and then I think,
That was it, I think.
So,
I think
yeah.
that was it. We had a little discussion about the collection of money again. And I guess the question I asked Dee and is the mayor was, if that process passes the auditor's smell test, I'm okay with it. And she's confident that it will. And I said, if that's an okay way to collect those funds, the director is still accountable for those funds, no matter who collects them or how they get back to the city. He's still accountable for those funds.
Right.
Okay. And then I think that was it.
That
huh?
was it.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, just trying to clean up some lines of accountabilities, responsibilities between the director and the pool organization. Just
I think they're really good changes and clarify things a lot, so.
Yeah,
And I noticed when I was reading this under number 3, and it says shall require pool or their designee to keep. Keep is missing, so it should say keep the premises.
okay,
I'll add that.
okay.
Keep the
That's
pro-
a word. Otherwise it says to the premises. Okay, so did anybody have, why don't we move for a motion in a second, and then we can continue discussion if you'd like.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, further discussion?
Why are they cleaning it? That part I don't understand it. Because we're hiring the lifeguards. We're hiring the manager. Our crew is doing the maintenance. But, so I don't understand why they're keeping it clean.
Well, I don't think the concept is they are accountable for the cleaning. I think the concept is the director can employ them to help in that manner.
Okay,
That's,
And they're there.
yeah, and they're there,
And the
right.
pool people are there at the pool more than,
So it's more of a direction. It, Ian, is where I was trying to get it, that the director, you know, if there's some maintenance and cleaning to be done, he could say, hey, would you guys do that?
Because there will be pool volunteers that will come and help as needed, who have already committed, but it's ultimately the director's responsibility. So this way it gives him the opportunity to say, maybe tomorrow I can't clean, but could you come in and clean instead? So,
Have access to. People to help.
yeah,
I know,
it seems like a weird
Weirdly,
part out, but.
yes. But it is just to keep the cohesiveness.
and of course, there's gonna be a director's contract for, so those will be spelled out then in his
In his duty.
job duties as well. So hopefully this will then tie all, bring it all into one. Okay, any additional comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? I'm sorry, I thought you raised your finger.
no, sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Opposed?
No.
Ordinance number 1930, an ordinance of the city of Raymond amending chapter 3.3 Raymond Municipal Code relating to utility. Reading.
So moved.
Second,
Okay, discussion.
so this is just an update of all the utilities and.
This is just for city tax only on sewer. Yep. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance number 1931, an ordinance of the city of Raymond, Washington, amending chapter 2.40 of the Raymond Municipal Code dealing with compensation of elected officers. This is the second reading. Can I get a motion in the second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Nay.
Two abstentions, motion does carry.
not abstentions.
I mean, not abstentions, I meant no's. Two no's, but motion does carry.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry. Okay, ordinance number 1932, and an ordinance adopting the budget for the city of Raymond, Washington for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024. This is the first reading. Can I get a motion to pass it to the second reading, please?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, any discussion?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Are you still giving the Parks Department $500,000?
Well, you got the budget, so I don't know if you have looked at the budget, but there was no changes. No dramatic changes in the budget from what was discussed at the budget workshop.
Okay, I believe before it was over, so.
Okay, So there has been no major changes.
So we are still getting $500,000.
Okay, I want for the record, there is some significant changes gonna be going on in Public Works. We have a parks employee that's retiring in December 1st. So there'll be quite a bit of shifting going on. And there will be a new parks person. Someone internally, I believe, has already put, the bids are in. I've been posted for the position, and I believe someone has internally already put their name in for that position. I'm not at liberty to tell you who that is, because I don't know if anybody else other than this person has. I think that you will see a significant change.
I believe with that type of funding, we need to see it. A great deal of change
Right, and that also includes an additional part-time employee.
from
Two.
from
part-time,
this department
right,
to them to make sure it's getting done.
so, and that.
And when you
again,
spend that kind of money, you better see something happen.
well, and that's the council's job, the people speak to the fire, so we can do that.
No problem.
Sure. As well as the mayor's job, so I intend to keep oversight of that as well.
Thank you.
I just have a process question.
Yeah.
In these different readings that we have, and is this gonna be the only opportunity we'll have to ask questions about the budget?
You can ask at the next meeting too.
I understand that.
Yeah, but
That's
yeah,
what I'm
these-
saying.
yeah,
We're not gonna have another budget.
Meeting.
Not.
Okay, that's my question, because I got some questions too, but I'm not prepared yet, so I'll bring them next.
And you can ask them at the next meeting, or if it's something that you feel it's just something you want to discuss. And
Yeah.
we can do that.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions?
If there was only $25,000 in there for repairs, is that subject to change or?
Whatever was budgeted for the pool, and I know that they have been awarded a grant from Weyerhaeuser for
The pool cover,
pool cover
13.
for a pool cover, and I know that they're working on additional grants as we
Okay.
speak, so.
So when I sat down with the pool, I asked them for their budget. And so we, basically what we sat down and said, I said, what are the major absolute repairs that you need done and what you think those costs will be for this year? And so that's what we did.
Okay.
Do you know what page that's on? I just wanted to
So
find it. I don't have it.
I didn't write down the
What
page number.
is pool?
It was in a separate,
It's under, it's under,
I think it was under miscellaneous. It was after like the theater and.
So it's
Yeah.
under the beginning, 001, and you get.
it's
Yeah,
for the museum. Wait, cultural facilities.
it's
Heritage
around.
Museum.
around
It's right
the
after.
museum.
I think.
It's visitor center and then it goes.
Salaries.
I think it was 220. Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, so it says
129.
129.
Yeah, 129.
Yeah, I'm just making up numbers. So
That's more like what I
You
remember.
scared me a little bit, because I was like,
Well, the dyslexia kicks in, and what are you gonna do?
Dang, 27.
That's why I wanted to read them too, because I remember it being something like 120. I was like, how did it get down
Well-
to 25 only? I see.
Well, no, that was just for the repairs. The repairs were 25,000, and I think the salaries
Yes,
are
yes.
85.
so on the employee side, the police has 2 more FTEs to put on. And then we've got the compliance office. And that's gonna go in, those 3 are gonna come out of the same pool.
Right.
right?
And the 2 police officers are replacements, they're not in addition, those
Got
are
it.
replacements.
So, and Chief Gideon, you have, are you requesting any more personnel, or you're at the level you have, unless past year?
I'm at the level we were last year, but waiting bills.
You just gotta fill
people.
you gotta fill some positions, but you're budgeted at the same.
Yeah.
Same level, okay. And then Public Works, the same or different?
Public Works is the same,
Okay,
No.
except for the code
So
enforcement.
code enforcement is half police, half public.
okay.
So isn't the parks
Mark.
person gonna be Public Works?
Right,
But that's
Well,
not
so
a
that wouldn't be
fully
the same.
budgeted For two part-time.
Yeah.
summer.
They got some summer help.
so I
That's
should,
all that you're budgeting for next year is summer help?
Well,
One.
no, they're one employee.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
the full-time employee and then one summer help?
Two.
Summer.
Okay, I thought you were getting somebody half-time.
I knew something was.
well,
I misunderstood
which
that.
is technically one full-time, but they just work summertime, there's
Right,
nothing for
right.
a part-time employee to do.
Right.
After the summer.
So staffing wise, budget, year to year budget is pretty much flat. Okay.
The only addition will be the pool manager,
The pool manager and what
And
we're paying that we don't normally pay,
right?
well, it's all pool. 'Cause
Right.
we've never paid any of it since I've been around, and the code enforcement.
Yeah.
And the two part-time
Okay.
summer help, we've had one off and on periodically, but never on a consistent basis.
And all three of our unions are, have negotiated increases for next year.
And the year after.
Which all set, and the year
3
after,
years.
so we're on a 2-year run. of-
And the. Is going to be
You mean
Oh,
the
okay.
compliance,
the code enforcement.
the code
Yes,
enforcement, okay.
yes.
Is that gonna be a complete position or
Yes.
just part-time?
It is a full-time position. It'll be partly funded from police, half from code enforcement. She'll be doing building tech, permits, things like that. She's already doing here, or that this position's already doing here in this office. And then, Pat is still working, with me to see exactly what, if we will commission that person to be able to write, tickets. So we're kind of working out the nuances there as well as with the Public Works Union. But we hope that that person will be housed here at City Hall because they will be doing the building permits and all of the stuff.
On the
He is
information.
already doing that right now, so it'd be
Yeah.
helpful to have them here.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, ordinance number 1933, an ordinance adopting revised appropriations and expenditures to be made in calendar year 2023. This is its first reading. I get a motion to move to the second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Okay, hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Ordinance number 1934, an ordinance amending sections of chapter 8.12, 14.4, 04, and 14.24 of the Raymond Municipal Code relating to sanitation, water, and sewer utility charges and fees. This is a first reading. Can I get a motion to move it to the second reading, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Oh, sorry. We'll
We have no
Back it up.
discussion.
We'll go back to discussion. We'll revote, but we'll go back to discussion. Discussion.
My question is, what's the percentage increase on these things? I see, thank you for the copy that has, lined out items and with the, change. 4%.
Okay, any additional questions?
Is that typical across cities?
Nope, nothing's typical when it comes to utilities across cities.
How did we decide on 4%? Just that was what was needed, that was.
Yes. To at least move in that direction. We had, not done, much in the way of rate increases, because of COVID. And so we're playing catch up. Which-
CPI.
And they look at CPI. CPI was huge last year. Couldn't even touch CPI last year. I think it was 13 or some horrible number. So, so they looked at what was really needed, how we could get there, and Public Works worked. Scott Pearson worked on it. This is what they felt was the best, least painful option.
least amount we could do, but we had to do something. Yeah.
So it's 4% for everything, water, sewer, and garbage?
Yes.
That seems,
So $8 on 200.
well, yeah, it's just, their enterprise funds, it seems. It seems like we could have put more effort into this because it seems unlikely that each of them came out to need a 4% exactly hike.
It sounds like some of them needed more, but that was the least they could get away with.
I think they tried to work out the goal to get what they could, they didn't want to. They didn't want to make it as any more painful than it already was. I know that Scott spent a great deal of time on this and looked at it and, said, we could go here to this point. Eric brought me 3 different scenarios at, this is at 4, this is at 6, this is at 8, how do you feel this? And this would be the total impact for a bill. Not just for water, not just sewer, not just garbage, but this is what you're looking at for the total impact. And so he said, 4 would get us where we need to be. 6 would help. It would bring our reserves up a little, and 8 would be ideal, but it's a lot and people are struggling. So I suggested we go with 4 if that will keep us at least where we need to be. So ultimately, it was my decision to not go any higher than 4.
I have a question on why the next 7, 10, 20, 30, 430,000 gallons are only $7.
Are you looking at page 3?
I don't know what page I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
3
water
at the back with the lines crossed out from 719 to 747.
Oh, you're
So is that $7 for the next 7,000 gallons?
Well, it's per each 1,000. So if you're at 15,000, you're paying one rate up to 10 times, and then from 10 to
Consumption
15,
rate per each.
you're paying a rate 5 times there because each 1,000 we gain
Like doing your taxes.
Enough said. Okay, thanks for explaining it.
10%
I get it now.
and 15%.
So is this, so the 4% that we're doing now, is this something we may have to revisit next year? Do you
it
think-
would,
or is it gonna be like
is
an
written
annual?
into our ordinances that the person every year that they go up by the CPI.
Cool.
So, but the CPI, that's, not always is that an option.
Right.
If depending on how high the CPI is, but it's definitely something that the city should always consider doing every year.
Certainly glad we didn't go with a 13%.
Really?
Yeah, no way.
Oh, yeah.
Over here, we did.
Any additional comments? Okay, now we'll vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Okay. All right. Okay. Fire Chief Bill Gideon.
A few things. Today, our peers responded in mutual aid to structure fire just outside the city limits, along with South Bend and Fires Free. There was a pretty much a total loss for the family, but the crews did an outstanding job. So we've been having several pretty significant motor vehicle accidents the last few weeks. So roads are getting a bit icy, and good time to take a minute, slow down, and be careful. Update on our own Captain Patrick. He passed his classroom portion of his medic training, which is the biggest chunk of his program. He's doing outstanding.
He's gonna move on to, actually started yesterday or today with his clinical rotations in the hospital over there in Nebraska. And once he's done with that, probably about the end of the year, he'll be coming back here, do his ride time internship somewhere, on this side of the state. So, looking for great things for him, and can't say enough how proud I am of what he's doing right now. Besides that, I can answer any questions. That's it.
All right, no additional comments or questions?
I just have one.
Yes.
How many firemen are gonna be at the firehouse on Wednesday? On Thursday, I'm sorry.
Thursday, I don't know for sure, but I tell you what, probably at least 2 or 3.
Good, okay, hopefully they're hungry.
Oh.
No. Down everywhere, so I'm just
I'll tell you what,
gauging how many I should be
we
prepping.
love
for.
leftovers.
I'll meet you out front.
Yep.
Done. Just wrapping up some end of the year things, getting things ready. Other than that, too much else going on right now.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How is having a deputy clerk working for you?
It helps a lot.
Does it?
Yeah, especially, when I came back, I didn't come back full time. I was
Right.
working only 3 days a week. So Deborah fills in, where I need her to. And we're still kind of working out, what some duties that she can take fully off of my plate. But right now we're kind of just swapping duties. We kind of help each other out. With payroll, things like that. So if I'm gone, she takes over payroll. When I'm here, I take care of it. So it's kind of a team effort sometimes. 'Cause,
Good.
there's a lot of overtime and things like that. You can get, okay, I missed 1 hour here. Why am I not balancing? So sometimes it's nice to have 2 eyes to help me out there. So she's kind of taken on a lot of we discussed her taking on more of the HR stuff. So that's in the works.
Great.
Deciding.
Sounds
who's
good.
doing what roles. Yeah. So.
And there'll be some of Tia's duties that will be redistributed when Tia goes into that new position. More questions for?
Yeah, just awesome job from the budget. I know that was a monster. Yeah, it was incredible. I saw it all polished and nice and fancy. It's very cool. Thank you so much.
There's some things I can work on for next year. I know that. Presentation.
Because how many budgets have you done, Kayla, now?
So many.
It's really
A lot of them,
I
right?
noticed. If there was.
So you're doing just great for, your first.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, I would say you're doing really great if it was your 10th budget, but hey, that's just me.
I just wanted to say, Steve, we're redistributing a lot of the job duties because in the past, I feel like, Tia's job was just admin assistant when she first hired in that role. And it's really evolved. And so, and same with utility clerk, there's things that can be done on the off time that they're not printing bills and things like that. So we are really looking to redistribute, but also being cognizant of these are now union positions. So we have to be careful with what we're doing there too.
They are union positions,
Yes,
because they weren't before, right?
they became the union positions as of January 1st.
Interesting. They weren't, the whole office crew was not union
Oh,
forever. Until
Well,
just,
the court clerk was here.
yeah, the court, yes. She was the only one in them. Which was always odd in my opinion, but. I'm surprised it took the union that long to,
There was some reasoning behind it.
yeah, I know. But I'm just surprised they allowed it to go on for so long.
So,
Unions are more aggressive normally.
so any additional questions for Kayla? Okay. Mayor's comments. I just have a couple things. I don't know if anybody's seen the sign on the front door or reading with them, but Identigo is up and running. We went live 2 weeks ago. We've done 15 fingerprinting. The first day we had 7, I think. It's been working great. We've had everything that I think that when we were trained, everything that she said, oh, this could happen or this might happen, but it very rarely ever happens. This happened. So.
That's generally what happens.
But we've got a really great response. People are excited to know that they don't have to drive to Olympia to get their fingerprints done, that it's local. And so it's working out nice, and it's calmed down now. I just have one a day, maybe 2 a day. So it's working out great.
That's still a pretty good rate for, small town area.
Yeah.
So,
And we do get a small fee for each one that we do. I don't know what that's gonna, well, I know what we were quoted, but I think it's gonna be more than that, so I'm not gonna say anything until we get our first check and see what it is, our first deposit. I'm assuming that if you have social media, you may have seen it. If you don't, LeMay's will be here on December 4th at our council meeting to do a presentation about what services they could offer the city if the city decides to outsource their garbage. I've asked it was posted on our Facebook page and it was posted on our website. And I've asked, if you see it, share it. So the citizens have an opportunity to weigh in if they want to, express their opinion about what the options are. They will provide the options, they'll provide the rates and what kind of services they can offer. So they will be here that night to give a presentation. So other than that, I'm not gonna, say anything else other than that they'll be here and it will ultimately it's gonna be up to the council to decide if you would want to pursue that or not. So that's that. Yes, Ian.
So along that line where you said it's up to us, which, I agree with, is not that the public shouldn't be here, but I worry that the public will, after they'll make people about the rates and things, when it's all just a presentation, when they should really be mad at us, right? So I just hope that we can keep that at bay for our presenters who are just here to give us information.
I will absolutely do my best. And that sort of goes into my next thing that I'll talk about tonight. This was sent out by MRSC, and this has become quite a thing, and not just in our state, but in other states as well, about addressing racist and anti-Semitic public comments at meetings. And they're coming through via Zoom. And they're unidentified. You cannot ask them who they are. When people log on to Zoom, you can't ask them who they are. There's a lot of things that you can't do. You can't ask them. You can't prohibit them from making a public comment, especially if they say it's a public comment based on something that's on the agenda. And that's sort of where the rub comes in, because they'll say, I'm going to make a public comment about ordinance number 1932. And then they start a tirade that's very off-putting, very racist, very anti-Semitic, very derogatory. So what some cities have done, and we have made the change on our agenda that goes public, is if you log into Zoom and you want to make a public comment about anything that's on the agenda, or you want to make a public comment, you have to provide in writing prior to the meeting and submit it to the clerk treasurer. Otherwise, you are not going to be allowed to do a public comment via Zoom. So you can't prohibit public comment via Zoom. You cannot prohibit public comment in the meeting, in a meeting here.
Yeah, so the person could still go off the rails. They could
Yes.
tell you some sweet things that they're gonna say, and then.
But Kayla does have the ability to mute them.
Okay.
but it has, become pretty, contentious. We have to be careful not to violate, anybody's civil rights, or not civil rights, First Amendment rights. There's an option to eliminate remote public comments completely. I don't want to do that. I want people to be able to comment publicly or remotely if they want to, but I want them, if they want to comment, then they need to sign up in advance. We do have a place on our agenda where people can make public comment on current agenda items, which I think is appropriate if they, when we get to the end of the agenda, if there's comments about stuff that's on the agenda, it's worked well in the past. And I think that we just cross that bridge when it comes, but I just want the council to be aware what's out there and what people are doing. We are fortunate, being in a small town, I'm hoping that it stays away. But we have other issues of, there's a couple guys that come and film through the windows and try to create, a controversy, and they just do it to see if they can get the people that they're filming inside to get upset, or people outside to get upset so they can film it and put it on YouTube. So the closest it's been to us so far has been in Centralia. And it was a ban. So
I have a quick question on that topic. Are we allowed to shut it down? Like, just say, that's it, you're done?
we can just mute them.
I
If
mean,
it's
no,
bad.
if they're here, can we just
Yeah.
say that's
Yeah.
not the way this town thinks?
Yeah,
and
well,
don't
we can
further?
say that it's just not appropriate language or conversation for
Okay.
this council meeting, and it's not pertinent to any agenda item, and it won't be tolerated, and they would be asked to leave.
Sounds good.
So we would keep public comment to current agenda items.
We've had some pretty irate people and comments in before.
Yeah, we have. So, and it was handled okay.
Yeah.
It was like my first week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So just we all kind of have a heads up.
I'm still looking for that $1 million that we're each one.
I know.
Where is that at?
Lawsuit is going.
Anyway, so, any public comment on current agenda items?
I have a question about that you just said, public comment. Isn't that the same thing as item number 6 or
It actually isn't.
wherever it is?
Number 6,
No,
No, it's the,
Items from the public.
items from
items from the
number-
public. 7.
number 7.
Aren't they the same thing?
Not technically. Nobody. So now would be the time they could then comment or speak on any of those ordinances that we have went through tonight. So, because when we
Or they
go,
could
when
talk
we-
about them next time.
they, and even still, when we go to pass them, after the second reading, that's not when we take public comment.
Yeah.
So that's why we did that, to allow people to then make public comment on stuff that we've already discussed, and this gives them an opportunity to talk, ask a question. So
Okay.
hearing no public comment, council comments. Well, pretty quiet. Future agenda items. If there is no objections, I will call this meeting adjourned.
Recordings